And we're not live. This is a 9 a.m. drunk beer review with your pals, Alan and Rapid Dave.
I'm Alan.
I'm glad that you were excited about that. Here's a beer.
Say something to you about that before we went live, but I'm glad you remembered. I appreciate that.
No problem. Here's a beer that's near and dear to our hearts.
So near and dear.
This is Cheers to 3 Years, Brutal Beerworks. This is a brewed and bottled Beerworks. Let's see, 12% alcohol by volume. You know anything else about this beer?
This is from their 3-year anniversary party.
Otherwise, it's being a pain in the ass to
open. Yeah, I got to peel off all this.
Who waxes their beers? What are you, Maker's Mark, for God's sakes?
I don't know, man. Let me just pull out the back scratcher here and just.
You're so weird.
That's not working that side. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can open this beer. We might not be drinking a beer right now.
I'll be okay with not drinking this. It's 12%. I grab this beer and I go, this is a mistake.
Yeah, this was your idea. Let the record show. This is a Rapid Dave idea. I don't know. I'm just going to try and just.
Yeah. I got it off.
You know what? Here we go. Ow. I just used the bottle opener to. Nice. There we go.
I'm quite nervous. This beer's been around for a little bit. But yeah, no, it's from our guys and gals out there at Brutal Beerworks. Cheers to you.
When's Father's Day?
Let me get this thing. I'm almost on. Yeah, I like peeling the wax. It's fun.
Look at that.
Look, now I got to get a bottle opener.
You've got multiple bottle openers around there.
I was looking around. I go, right? Like I should have just no problem at all. Like just cracking these things open.
There's one on the SB. There's one on the wall. There's one on the desk. I mean, they're everywhere. Like,
this away too.
Oh, that smells delicious. It's a barrel-aged barley wine. It doesn't look like your typical barrel age. Like that almost looks like a red ale or something along those lines. It really does look like that. Like you're not going to be disappointed when you pour it. Okay. Once you pour it, look at that. Look at this pour. You're not pouring it hard enough. You're going to mess with the napkin in your stomach already.
It's making so much noise.
That is phenomenal. Holy hell, that is delicious. So, full disclosure, we drank this the day of the 3-year anniversary party, but I don't remember.
No, of course not. Why would
I don't remember drinking this. I grabbed 3 bottles of it. I still have 2 left in the fridge. One I'm going to hold back and keep back for next year for their 4-year anniversary party. Because that's just kind of what I do. You know, they were super excited when I showed up this last year with their barrel-aged beer.
Yeah. I got 1 left in the fridge.
Like I said, I got 2 left. That is really good. Like, it doesn't look like your typical barrel-aged beer. Like, first and foremost, it almost looks like I was just going to say, when I was talking, it looks like a red ale. Wait, what's that face for?
It can't be good. It smells like just straight liquor. It smells like whiskey. I don't want any part of this beer.
I actually thought it was really smooth. Like, so, okay. So I actually feel like it's really smooth for a barrel-aged beer that's been around for, I don't know. I don't remember how long they barrel-aged it for, but pretty tasty. I really enjoy it.
There's no one likes these beers. These barrel-aged beers. Just leave. You know what? Leave the whiskey for the whiskey. If you want to drink beer, drink beer. If you want to drink whiskey. Why the hell do these things exist?
Because they're good and good for you?
That's not true.
I 100% disagree with you. I actually think this is really smooth for a barrel-aged beer, a barrel-aged 12%er. Like, honestly, like...
Oh, God. I'm in a car with this stuff.
I'm ready to go crack open another one.
You ain't going to.
I just might. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. I don't know.
All right. Cheers to you.
So, what do you want to talk about when we sip on this? Oh, it's so delicious.
I don't even like whiskey.
It's not a strong whiskey taste.
What beers do you remember what barrels they use for this?
No, I don't.
No. There's some places we'll see the barrels there and they
we can see the barrels there, but
yeah.
I don't remember. Like,
yeah.
Let me look up. Let me pull up Untapped.
And so a lot of the local brewers you'll see like that. They'll get their barrels and they're right there on the production floor, sometimes in the actual tap room, things like that. So you can see and get an idea of how the beer is going to taste in a couple months and 6 months, depending on how long.
Acre whiskey barrel aged barley wine.
Okay.
Average score of 4.11 out of 48 ratings.
It's a bunch of beer snobs that don't know what they're talking about. That's all it is. It's a bunch of beer snobs. They're like, oh, this is phenomenal. This is shut up. Shut your mouth.
So do you not think I know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Most of all, beer wise, yes. But everybody else, yeah.
So C.W. Leonard said whiskey up front, but the maltiness takes the burnout. Very smooth. Yeah. I agree. I actually think this is very smooth for a barrel-aged beer.
Why don't you just drink whiskey if you want to drink whiskey?
Well, I'm drinking a beer.
Why don't you drink whiskey? I finally get that little thing.
Because this is Strikeout beer, not Strikeout whiskey.
We could drink whiskey, I guess.
I mean, I'll knock back some whiskey with you.
Drink some whiskey. But yeah, no, that's fine. I always throw a fit and have it's the initial couple shocks of taste with me. Okay. And it's so over the top and things like that. I truly don't like drinking whiskey. I don't like drinking scotch. There's certain
for someone who doesn't like whiskey, you sure do drink a lot of it.
Just things are weird like that.
Just say that, like
the world's just strange. But for what this is and this beer, it's phenomenal, right? We'll talk more about that towards the end when we're rating it and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I've never gotten I've never understood why there's the barrel aging process. Like, if you want to drink whiskey, drink whiskey. If you want to drink beer. But there's been some phenomenal beers that's been produced from whiskey. And even like the very first time I had a barrel aged beer, that was out at RAR, and it was like the worst experience. I go, I'm not drinking this. And it's back when I was green. I was like,
at the same time, your palate was very unrefined at that time.
So I'm saying I was super.
You hadn't had any of that stuff, right?
Yeah. I agree.
But like now, like you throw a fit about it every time now, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to drink this. Oh, this is gonna be awful, blah blah. But you drink it and you enjoy it every damn time.
It's my go-to move.
I cannot think of a time where we've had a barrel-aged beer where you've been like, this is just awful the entire way through it. You might like the first drink be like, oh, this sucks. But like second or third drink, you're like, you know what? It's pretty damn good. But we've had that with non-barrel-aged beers, right? Going all the way back to like episode number 3 of Strikeout Beer, like 4 years ago or however long ago it was. We had a Voodoo Ranger that we both drank. The first drink, we were like, oh, this isn't that great. 2 drinks later, we're like, this beer is pretty damn good. Yeah. So
I agree. It's kind of my knee-jerk reaction type thing. You're right. I have a trouble with these beers because I'm like, I want to have a beer. Don't want to drink the whiskey part of it. But yeah, before it was like, I'm not drinking this. And I just hand it to you. You want it? And you're like, yeah, I'll take it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And now it's like, yeah, I just sit there and sip on it. Yeah, I have to realize what these beers are. And it's about sipping. It's about enjoying the beer, enjoying the flavor profile. I'm knocking the shit out of my mic right now. I'm sorry. But it's about the flavor profile, about sipping, enjoying all the flavors and the complexity that comes along with these beers. And yeah, no, these late night beer reviews only go for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And now, but we
go a little bit longer.
But we yanked out one of these 12%ers, and of course it's from Brutal. we got our brutal. I have my brutal shirt on. I got my brutal hat on. And everything else, and it's like, all right, well, let's see where this goes. And it's so. This is something you don't want to say goodnight to, because that's the thing that'll knock out your ass. But it's like, we're out here having a good time.
For me, this is definitely the last beer of the night. I'm going to drink this beer. I'm going to grab a bottle of water, and I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to have a great night. I really enjoy this. I'm looking forward to drinking this at their next anniversary party. Because again, I'm going to save. I have 2 more bottles of this. One I'll drink. I don't know. I'll get a wild hair up my ass one night and I'll drink it. Probably go live and drink it. And then I'm going to save one for the anniversary party, because that's kind of what I did this for the last anniversary party. Had the barrel aged beer from them. I mean, at some point in time, we have, which I think at this point in time is over a year old, the Strikeout beer that we've got to sit down and we've got to drink. I know I have one left.
Yeah.
How many do you have left?
Like a half of one. Yeah, just half.
I mean, you at least have one. You don't have a half of one.
It's in like a container, like one of those little plastic containers with a lid on it. Yeah, it's just. Okay. I got a half of one.
Okay. Well, I have a full one that I'm saving for one time for us. Is it something that you drink what you have, I drink what I have?
Oh, we'll share. You have one. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, or is it something that we want to get together with the guys from Brutal and drink with them? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah. Like I said, I got the one just sitting there in the back of the fridge. Like, you're like, oh, let's clear the fridge. Okay. And some of the beers I pull out aren't that old, but again, I got that one there. I'm not going to pull that out for just a regular clear the fridge. It's a special edition where we both do
thing. Those beers are sitting in that fridge for a particular reason, and it's not going to be a clear the fridge edition. It'll be a on the spot. Let's have some fun and let's go back, right? And for me, I don't see myself ever just cracking one of those beers and just sitting around the house drinking them. I bought the last of the few that they had there.
I was so pissed because I was going to go in that day. I think it was that day. I was going to go in that day and go and buy some more. And then not only did you go to Brutal and you didn't tell me, which Brutal's 5 minutes from my house, if that, you bought all of the Strikeout beer.
They had a couple left. And I just took them.
No, you bought them all. Showed up and Zach looked at me and goes, Rapid Day bought them all.
I showed up and I had like a handful too off the tap and floated the keg. They said, we're done. I go, we don't have any more left. I go, well, how many more cans do you have? And he told me, and I said, I'll take those cans. Give us the backstory real quick on that whole thing.
The Strikeout beer. Yeah. So at their 2-year anniversary party, before it, they said, hey, we want to talk to you guys about something. We're like, cool. They're like, oh, but we don't want to talk to you guys about it till we're live during the anniversary show. And we're like, that's not cool. We're like, no, it's cool. Just don't worry about it. We're like, oh, and we worried about it. But then at the time, they're like, hey, we want to brew a beer with you guys. Let's brew a beer. Let's have some fun. You guys come. You guys tell us what you want to brew. We'll figure it out. We'll work together. You guys come and brew it with us. But not only that, but we're going to donate the proceeds of the can sales to a charity. And we donated all those proceeds to the Rutledge Foundation, a specific type of cancer that affects youths is that cancer. And so we had a whole big event for that. We raised money for it. The can sales went to it. It was a great time. Like, we went out there, we brewed the beer with them. We had a great time doing it. We've talked about doing some other beers with them. So eventually at some point in time, we will do another beer with them. Whenever they tell us to show up and do a beer, we'll show up and do it with them. But yeah, that's what we did. It was a great time. We had the release party night. We had a great time that night. We raised a lot of money that night. had some discussions about cancer and how it's affected us, and Lizzie, and speeches were given, tears were shed. We had a great time. It's just a blast all around.
Didn't get recorded. And that's the biggest mistake in my life, not recording that speech, because you nailed it. You went wild on the room, man. I'm telling you. I felt I was so caught up in the moment. You know, nowadays,
but it's also
like does is pull out their phone.
They do.
I was so caught up in the moment. Lizzie was caught up in the moment. Everybody else was there. They were just like, you know what we're doing? We're living in the moment.
We were. And you know what? Maybe I'm kind of glad we didn't record it, right? Because it was kind of like an in the moment type thing. It was me, you, Lizzie, and about 30 other people at that brewery that heard it, and it affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And we had a lot of people that came up to us after that who donated because of it and things like that. And I'm okay with it not being recorded because, again, it was an in the moment type thing. And if you weren't there, I'm sorry, you missed out.
Yeah, it goes down in like folklore of brewery speeches and stuff like that. Let me tell you how rare this beer is. It's only 40 check-ins on Untapped. 40. 6% ABV, 0 ABUs. He said no IBUs.
48 check-ins.
Well, I got Untapped over here. Wait.
I'm looking at Untapped.
I'm looking at Untapped. Oh, is there two different ones?
No,
I got 42 and 40.
I've got 52 total, 51 unique, 3 monthly, 1 U, which is us. 48 total.
Is it YOU''RE?
What?
Because I'm looking right at it.
What are you looking up?
Untapped, your least favorite beer.
Oh no, I was thinking about Cheers to.
I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about our beer.
No, we never talked about the score on that. That's for a different episode. What's the score? What's the score on that beer?
That damn beer. It scores 3.75, which is good.
That's pretty low. It should be higher.
It's an Amarillo. It's a dry hop beer, dry hop pilsner. That's my go-to beer. So that's, they were like, hey, you want to do one of these? I go, why the hell wouldn't I? It's like, I love dry hop beers, and I love dry hop pilsners
that they did.
Yeah.
So
they should be putting that beer on.
I mean, I'm almost done with this.
Not that much.
Yeah, let's finish it up. We're 18 minutes in. Cheers, mazel mazel, good things.
Oh boy, I don't know what to do. Do I check it? What's going on?
Cheers to 3 years from Brutal Beerworks, a barrel-aged barley wine coming at 12% alcohol volume. Delicious, good, smooth. As far as barrel-aged beers are concerned, looks almost like an amber ale, to be honest with you. But I really, really freaking enjoyed it. I thought it was delicious. Rapid Dave, what do you think? There we go. Double thumbs up from Rapid Dave. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We know it's early. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're not going to back getting drunk at 9 a.m. But hey, let's have some fun. As always, I'm Alan.
Rapid Dave.
Talk to you guys later. Deuces.